So I recorded this already, over an hour audio, and for some reason it stopped at 15 minutes. So here I am again recording it, and I'm kind of a little upset about that because I thought my advice could have been pretty helpful, perhaps. But we're back again. I asked on Twitter if people that want advice, and maybe I'll give it, and maybe it'll be good. And here we are. Enjoy the Black Ops 2 gameplay. Yes, this is 2012, and this is a Call of Duty commentary. So buckle in, folks. Some of these questions are going to be a little deep. Everett asks, Nogla, I'm at a point in my life where I don't really know what to do. I thought I did when I went to university, but that got turned on its head. I'm currently working on an 18-hour job, and I'm happy to do it, but I know that I have potential to do greater things. I just don't know how to motivate myself to do it. What's your advice on how to choose to do something and motivate yourself to stick to it? Look, Everett, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Okay, it is 10 p.m. and I'm not motivated to make this video. I'm not. I'm doing it. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, and I should. So that's it. If that doesn't motivate you, then nothing will. You can't have your life ruled and dictated by feelings of motivation and inspiration, because those are very, very, very fleeting, as you're already aware. So I would suggest that you start prioritizing your life to make actions based on how purposeful and important they are, and putting value into everything you do versus putting a feeling ahead of fact. I don't think you should do that. You should not put your feelings ahead of you to basically choose what you do. That is going to leave you into a very messy life. So to have structure, you need discipline. To have purpose, you need all that stuff too, and direction. So if you're happy to do your job right now and you feel like, hey, I'm content here, that's cool. You know you have more potential. Work on something that builds up your skill set, your intelligence, your knowledge, your social circle, increase the quality of your friendships with your family. Just build on things little by little and be happy as you go along doing it, whether you feel happy or not. Show it. Things will get better as you practice this. Very, very, very important that you don't fall into this cycle of motivated, oh my gosh, I gotta go do something, this is great, and I don't really feel so good today, I think I'm just gonna be a vegetable. It's not gonna work. It's a vicious cycle, and not just you, but a lot of people fall into it if you don't become self-aware that that's what's happening and break that chain effect, that up and down roller coaster kind of crash and sky high and crash and sky high cycle. It's gonna repeat itself and get nastier and nastier. So do something about it now before you regret it later. Don't have motivation be your primary dictator in life. Odd Sauce asks, how does one grow a channel? Very good question. It is difficult to grow a channel. A YouTube channel specifically is quite hard. Everything now is definitely saturated. So you have to put a lot of time and effort into what you love and you're passionate about to create content around that. So there's so many different variety of videos that you can make. It's really about, what are you good at? What do you know? What do you love? What do you enjoy? And does your personality flourish behind all of that? Honestly, people are just happy to see other people excited and enjoying something, man. And it doesn't have to just be video games. It can be something else. But the key is that you contribute day-to-day time towards it, so that you can say, okay, a little bit today might not be a big deal, but a little bit over a long period of time could mean that, hey, you're quite good at editing videos now. What are you going to do with that? You know, building up your editing is super, super important. You just have to sit down and do it. There's no way around it. You just sit down, learn how to edit. That will teach you what is good and what is bad, and that will make you appreciate the people that do put a lot of editing into videos as well. So that opens up your mind a lot to the creative process of capturing something and then packaging it nicely for people to sit, relax, and enjoy. So put in the time. If you don't have the time, then it might not be the right time to do something like that, and just analyze your own situation, your own life, and go from there. A channel on YouTube is not for everybody. I honestly wouldn't suggest it to most people because it's very volatile and up and down, and that can be kind of mentally draining if you're not prepared for it and have your hierarchy of value and morals in the right place, or it'll get rocked. You'll get rocked. So yeah, there's other ways to kind of ease into things. YouTube videos can be a bit more difficult and longer to make. If you want to just start small, TikToks are fantastic. YouTube Shorts, of course, Instagram Reels, they're all the same thing really. Starting there, they're short videos, so you can kind of create something special and really spend your time on it. But the quality of the video has to be first and foremost, before you even start opening up software to fiddle with things, you need the good footage behind it. You need the good idea. Ideas are king when it comes to content, being creative, and having hopefully a personality, either in the way you edit or in yourself. There has to be something that makes you stand out, okay, or else you just blend in with the crowd. So good luck with that one. God bless. I have two. Well, I'm gonna only answer one. If your YouTube, TikTok, or Twitch are rapidly growing, at what point would you consider it a full-time career, or how many subs do you think you should have? It varies. TikTok revenue is pretty low, so you'd need a lot of views for that. Twitch, you could probably scrape by with a very loyal couple of hundred concurrent viewers, very loyal, very generous, very charitable, and you have a tight-knit community where you communicate a lot. YouTube is different. I would suggest that if you want to do it well, it all depends on how long your videos are, how short your videos are, what type of videos you make. So it depends, but I wouldn't even consider going full-time until you hit a minimum million views. Ideally 2 or 3 million views a month before you go full-time on YouTube. That gives a safe kind of number in case things fall a little bit. So yeah, there you go. Cam asks, as someone who clearly has a hyperactive disorder like I do, what are you saying? What helps you focus better and get shit done in life? Okay, well, I'm just gonna tackle the second half, and I won't have this one be personal. Okay, focus better, get stuff done. Pretty tricky, easier said than done, but I've learned that surrounding tasks with something that fills the noise helps me. So if for example, if I do prayers and they're gonna take quite a while, I do prayers while driving my car. I do prayers while watching a TV show I don't really care about. That's a very poor example, especially from a Christian, but that's just an example of where it's like I'm doing 2 birds, 1 stone. So I feel like that helps. So like if you're cleaning, listen to music, in speakers or your earbuds or a podcast, that really helps. Having a structure. So just saying, okay, I'm going to get to sleep before this time. I'm going to wake up around this time. So good. The gym helped me a lot, massively. The gym was a good stepping stone towards bringing structure to the rest of my life. So I'm very much grateful for the gym. Yeah, sometimes it's good to put things in boxes. This is going to be done this day and that's going to be this day, and just mainly focus on the day ahead of you. Don't try and think of tomorrow too much or yesterday, because otherwise your brain is just going to forget what you need to do today. That's another thing. And then last but not least, write things down. Have a little to-do list. I have a little to-do list in my phone and I check it every so often, and I'm like, okay, what's something I can write off here? This takes a few minutes and that takes a few minutes. I get those done. So the small short tasks, it's best to just get them done once they're in front of your face, so you just don't forget them and they don't pile up. But a to-do list is really good, and it's satisfying when you have a to-do list and you get things done on the list and you get to delete it, and it's like, ooh yeah, make the list shorter, that's nice. So yeah, there you go. I hope one of those things has gotta help. Hey yo, Limbo, how did you not get burnt out, and what made you get back into the swing of things? Well, funny you ask. I literally made a TikTok reading a Bible scripture today that is on my Instagram as well. Check it out. That answers your question. I know that's not that helpful actually, but once you get there, it is helpful. Trust me. It's from the book of Matthew. Come to me, all you who labor and are overburdened, and I'll give you rest. Shoulder my yoke and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Yes, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. If you are a person who labors and after some time find yourself burnt out, cracks are showing, and you just feel a weight in your heart, on your shoulders, that's the perfect time for you to go to God, to hand it over to Him so He can turn those frustrations and those feelings that weigh you down into relief. Another important aspect of this scripture is talking about how Jesus is gentle and humble in heart. Very important to realize that Jesus wants you to be like Him. So when you encounter yourself with a lot of difficulties, you can very much often be hard on yourself and feel weak and you should have done better. Why wasn't I strong enough? Well, you need to imitate Christ and learn to be gentle and humble of heart to yourself. Humble yourself and realize you've reached your limits, and then be gentle to yourself so that you can recover. And doing this with God will make this a process that gets easier and easier over time. And eventually you'll find yourself getting stronger because you are actually more gentle and humble. It sounds a bit backwards, but it's the only thing that will move you forward if you're finding yourself hitting that brick wall. So with all that being said, folks, I really appreciate you listening to the Word of God. and God bless you. Roach, what do you do when she leaves you after making you feel amazing and ghosts you? Oh, pain, my friend. You don't have a choice. You have to move on. You have to forgive her and realize that, hey, she probably got a whole bunch of stuff going on that I probably don't know about. And if I was to stay with her longer, I would know about, and it might end up worse. So just thank God it's over. I know that's kind of weird, but be grateful it's over. Forgive her if you're hurt and resentful or whatever, and move on, man. Move on. I know that's weird. I know that's difficult, but you have to be patient and give yourself time, because your brain, it's by the seemingly always thinking about her. She was always around. She was so amazing, made you feel great. So your brain was like, I want to feel good, I'm going to find her. And now your brain wants to feel good and it's looking to find her, and she's not there. You have to be patient. Try and treat yourself with a bit of tender love and care TLC. Maybe buy yourself something small and nice. Treat yourself good and find ways to get a good feeling without her. And then your brain's going to forget about her. Honestly, that's how it goes. Sorry. It is what it is. Guys, ask, how do you keep going when life keeps smacking you down every week? I'd say you and billions of other people, guys, have this question. And the thing that keeps me personally going is knowing that one day it's all going to be over. Life is short. It's gone in a blink, but eternity lasts forever, and your eyes will be wide open. So whenever I suffer in life, and I'm grand, guys. Don't be worried about me. But everyone has their own stuff, okay? When you're talking about your problems to someone else, they usually have problems that they could be telling to you, but they're listening to yours. So everyone has a problem. Everyone has a story. And what I've come to realize is that having a short-term, medium, and long-term goal is really, really good. When the short term seems miserable and shitty and absolutely insufferable, then the medium goal will help me. And if the medium goal is terrible, oh my gosh, when is this ever going to get better? Then it's the long-term goal. So like short-term goals would just be like, what am I trying to get done today? And can I do that well? Medium-term goal is like, I want to, marry Aaliyah. I want to have a great family, continue to. I want to see my daughter grow up and just do my best for her. And then the long term is like, I want to get to heaven. I want to be with God. I want my family to be with God so that we can all be happy forever. Wouldn't that be lovely? So that makes me the happiest. The happier you are with your long-term goal, the easier it is to handle the short-term bumps or medium-term. So there you go. Find out what that is for you. And once you think it, then it'll appear. 3 asks, how should I go about dealing with toxic people? Very hard. I usually try and walk away, but they continue to harass me, and I just kind of break and lash out myself, causing more issues. Also, hope you're having a blessed day. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, try and walk away is honestly, that's pretty much the way to go, man. And when they're coming to harass you and they don't like it that you walked away, just self-control, forbearance. Google it. It's a very good word. Know that whenever someone's trying to hurt you, they're probably already hurt themselves and they can't control themselves. And honestly, I'm not the type of person to go around feeling pity for other people. I don't like to do that because I feel like if you go around just pitying people, you kind of feel like you're better than them or whatever. No one's better than anyone, but have sympathy that they can't control their emotions as well as you can, maybe. And you're privileged and you're blessed to be able to walk away from such toxic situations, have healthy boundaries that keep your peace and your clarity intact and your joy, and they don't have that. So you just say, God, please bless them so they can have that, and change me so I know how to avoid them. We're the ones, the good people are the ones that need to be changed a lot more than you think, guys. When a good person is around a bad person, sometimes they should have known better. So you got to watch out, test people over time. Don't jump into friendships too quickly or relationships too quickly. Toxic people, give them their space. Okay, they can, and you're doing them a favor. Okay, if they're toxic and you just cut them off, maybe that's what you might have to do, then you're actually making them a better person. Why? Because you are taking the route where they can't inflict more harm on you and do more wrong to you. So think of it as a service, a quiet and sincere and gentle service done to all toxic people in the world. If you cut them off, move on. And they've shown their colors many, many times, and don't show any signs of changing. Don't show any signs of listening. The best thing you can do is to leave them alone, because that will actually make them inadvertently a better person. because they won't be hurting a good person anymore. I'd say leave the toxic people to the toxic people. Alfox asks a question that honestly I think a lot of men, young men especially, struggle with. How do I resist the urge, the lust feeling? Because I'm gonna be honest, I hate the post-nut clarity. Dude, the post-nut clarity is not fun. This is a very understandable problem for many men, and you're not alone in it at all. It's honestly, it's such a chemically wired thing. Our society promotes so much promiscuity, immodest behavior, to say things lightly, and it's difficult to not get wrapped up in it and feel the tug before the tug. So I hope someone's understanding what I mean when I say that. However, I would say my advice is this: you have to be incredibly careful with what you consume. Usually lustful feelings don't come from absolutely nowhere. You know, you might just be scrolling somewhere or whatever, or yada yada yada. You might hear something, I don't know. Well, everyone's different in terms of what they find, you know, attractive. But essentially try and avoid sexual images, sexual songs, sexual videos, and as a man, try and look at women as, you know, a child of God that is blessed, and their soul is the most important thing about them and not their body. So it's very, very important that you're able to elevate the value of women as not an item, but as equal partners in all aspects of life and how they contribute to society in great ways. So, and contribute to, and maybe your purpose. Everyone has a mom, and everyone's mom has great impact on them. So just try and take that kind of advice and apply it, and you will find that the urges will slowly go down more and more, hopefully. I know it's not like that easy sometimes, and if you fail and you fall, get mercy from God. If you feel guilt, God is already there to get rid of that guilt and give mercy. So just ask God for forgiveness and try the next time. But it's very, very important that you have to understand, you know, that's a weakness. I think it's okay to admit it. I think it's an okay thing to not feel ashamed about when you're working towards not doing it anymore. So just be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much, and don't I'm not going to say it. Gosh, there's so many inappropriate jokes you can make here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a good guy. The first piece of advice is avoid like images and songs and videos and jokes and conversations that are highly sexually charged, and then hopefully that won't transfer onto you as heavily or frequently. And yeah, and if you feel like it's kind of, you know, tingling there, try and just distract yourself as soon as possible with something else. Go do 30 push-ups and you won't feel like it. You won't feel like doing anything after that. So that's actually good advice, unironically. So good luck and God bless you on your journey, man. Jingle Goblin, how do you know when to stop wiping? I assume you're talking about poop. Actually, pretty easy. You just keep wiping till you don't see no brown no more. Once there's no brown, then you can flush her down. Kiwi asks advice on how to feel better about yourself, and I answered this person in the previous question, but that never saw the light of day. So I think a lot of people, to feel better about themselves, it's two things really. Three, sorry. It's going to be, one, you have to stop the train of negative thoughts that drag yourself down, because they're not really there for you, okay? They're not your friend, all right? And the more you feed a rat, the bigger they are. So the more you indulge these negative thoughts that put you down, thoughts of, you know, self-hatred and doubt and fear and worry, and you have to realize, oh shit, it's happening right now. Oh, what can I do? I can distract myself with something positive. I can speak positive even though I feel negative, which is, I know, a weird one to do, and it will feel really strange, but that works. When you're thinking negative but you speak positive, your brain's like, what the fuck? It's kind of like you're telling your brain what to think. Your brain's like, you're a fucking waste of space, man. What do you even do, man? Like, no, I am trying. I'm a good person. I'm giving it my best shot, and I can only do so much, but everything that I do, none of it is a waste. Everything builds towards something. And that's good enough for me. And then your brain's like, whoa, no, that's not the direction I wanted to go. So if you need to verbalize it out loud, because sometimes fighting thoughts with thoughts is extremely difficult in your brain because the negative thoughts are so much more overpowering than positive ones. You might just have to just say it out loud. I know this is absolutely insane, but if you're really, really bad, this is what you might have to do. If you find yourself speaking negatively about yourself as well, stop that completely. Stop. Because there's enough people that are going to speak negative about you in your life. You do not need to be an additional person that does that. There's going to be enough. Trust me. Trust me. That's about it. Speak positive. Don't speak negative. And watch your thoughts. Cries asks, hey Nogla, I was hoping to get some help from my friend Evan. He's been dealing with a chronic fast food addiction for the past 2-3 months. Keep in mind, he's 5'1" and has gone from 130 pounds to 350 pounds. I'm very worried. Any advice is helpful. I'm worried for the Wingstop warrior. Oh, dude, this picture is so funny as well. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing. This is a serious issue. Yeah, he's hurting, man. He's hurting. I think what's going on, this is only my opinion, and I don't know you guys, but he is feeling empty and hurt, man, and he is eating all that fast food because it's that quick, easy, juicy, tasty dopamine rush, and it fills that empty feeling in his soul, man. That's all he's doing. He's trying to fill his soul with fast food. There's something deeply wrong, and you need to talk to your friend Evan about what happened 3 or 4 or 5 months ago or 6 months ago. This could be going even longer back, but something started it, and it didn't start with him just, oh, I feel like eating more. In my opinion, I don't know, have a bit of a heart-to-heart and trying to cut through anything that is a bit of a facade or a bit of a wall he might be putting up, and just get to the root cause, because something was probably eating him up inside before he started eating all around him. Scott, with how to start dating again at 52 years old, my best advice is to actually, in my opinion, don't try and date anybody. I think you should work on yourself, improve yourself, get a new hobby, get out there, and if you meet someone naturally and normally through mutual interests, that's cool. But wanting something too much is usually going to leave you in the position when you do date someone of coming across as maybe overly needy, overly wanting, and you just want to sit back and let it happen. Work on yourself so that when it does happen, or if it does happen, that you're ready and you are someone that is very worthwhile and has a lot to offer, very valued potential partner, and you don't have to make your case, you don't have to prove your importance. They'll be able to see it just by your content of your character and your personality. And yeah, that's it. Just work on making yourself better. So yeah, good luck, man. God bless. Gibbs asks, are there rules to praying, or do you just sort of do your best? Honestly, doing your best is a great way to approach prayer. Just realize that when you're praying, yeah, you are trying your best, and God knows that, and he'll take care of the rest. So that's all. You do your best, God does the rest. It's simple as that. Your prayers are never going to be perfect because you are not perfect, but God, who loves you and cares for you, will perfect your prayers. And it's very, very important before you pray that when you ask God and you believe in God and you pray to God, that your prayers are not for selfish ambitions and they are not for pleasures. So if you're looking to just get a bunch of money so you can have a lot of holidays and take some drugs and hire some hookers, God's gonna be like, I don't know if I want to give this guy a lot of money. There's some things there that could cause a lot of sinning. Yeah, just be very, very careful when you pray that your prayers are sincere and they're pure and they're not trying to be selfish or anything like that. It's any problem you have, you can bring it to God, of course. But when it comes to prayer specifically in terms of petition, you just have to have a bit of self-awareness that, okay, am I going to get this answered and then use it wrong? And then you also have to understand that answered prayers take time. So, sometimes they can be fast and you can get it answered within a day or a week or a month. But some of them take years to answer. Usually the bigger it is, the longer it takes, because God has to work on you for you to receive the prayer, because the prayer might be answered, but are you ready to receive that answer and what you asked for? Maybe, maybe not, but God has to bring you to that place to receive what you prayed for as well. So there's a process to it. So whenever you pray, just keep remembering, like, okay, I asked for this and God's working on it, and thank you, God, and move on on to the next thing. God can do a lot. So Paju asks, what's a good way of coming out to a Christian family? I shouldn't be laughing, but damn, this is loaded. This is massively loaded. I'll be honest, I seem to have encountered, at least personally, a lot of Christian parents pretty accepting when people come out, because they're, at least if they're a good Christian, they should understand that no matter what someone is going through, that they should be loved unconditionally, especially when it comes to family, that there should be unconditional love, and you're not directly trying to hurt them in an intentional, evil way. This is just something that's going on, something you're going through. Hey, maybe you change your mind. I don't know the future. Basically, I think just have an open and honest conversation. Say, look, these are the thoughts and feelings that are going on right now, and this is what I'm thinking right now. What do you think? I think if you speak about this to your family, don't come across as if you're trying to impose it on them, right? And make them like congratulate you or something. Just share the thoughts and feelings that are going on and ask for their thoughts and their opinions and their feelings. And then they'll feel like, oh, okay, they're not just pushing this on me and just saying, hey, this is how it is and you better fucking get with it. You hear me? Show some vulnerability, be honest, be humble, and hopefully it goes well. It has gone well for a lot of people. So try and be positive. And last but not least, listen to what your parents have to say. Genuinely listen to what they have to say. If you want them to listen to you, you have to be able to listen to them too. Okay? That's what's fair. What's fair is fair. Poor boy. I answered this one before and I'm going to answer it again. Any advice on how to forgive people more efficiently? I just don't want that kind of thing in my chest 24/7 all the time. So I want to forgive people more. All right, let's keep this one short and sweet, because honestly, it's a big question, but a small answer. Remember that forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to be friends with them and do loads of lovely good things to them every day. Oh, I forgive you and you're the best again. No, it doesn't. Don't work like that. So the primary function of forgiveness is to actually bring healing to yourself. Why do you say that? Well, unforgiveness cannot be fueled without hurt, okay? That's why you're struggling to forgive in the first place. They hurt you, okay? So when someone hurts you, let's just give a bit of a visual. Bang, you got stabbed right in the heart, okay, by an imaginary knife. Boom, it's in there, okay, and you're hurt. And they have no intention of taking it out. They stabbed it in there and they have bounced, okay? They're gone. Later. Enjoy that one. So you're there with a big old knife in your heart and you're like, oh, how could you do this to me? Oh my God. Now, do you want to get up and carry that knife inside you for the rest of your life? Well, obviously not. That's what you do when you don't forgive people. You carry the knives that people have put in you, in your heart. You carry them. That's it. That's it. All it is, removing these little and big knives pierced your heart, and your heart is very, very precious, very, very important, and you have to forgive from your heart. But you can't forgive from your heart if you've resentment and bitterness embedded in there. Resentment and bitterness cannot grow without fertile wounds that are deep, and the deeper they are, the more they'll fester and the bigger they'll get. And so just remember that if you want to have a happy life, forgive the person who's the hardest person to forgive, who hurt you the most, and then you'll be able to forgive everybody else easy peasy, and you'll find yourself far more peaceful, far more joyous, and you'll notice that your personality will change and develop as well. As you take out the knives, then the wound can finally heal, and once it's fully healed, you'll feel like a completely different fucking person. So trust me, this is the only way. There's no other way. And I can say this one with 110% certainty. I don't have a live asks, how do I get on cancel after using Twitch Whispers? Ask for a certain individual. Oh, I have no clue who you're talking about. I'm sure what you'll do is just ignore the situation, come back like nothing happened, and just hope that your core audience still loves you, and they might or they might not, who even knows. But basically you're gonna try your best to just pretend it never happened. And if you do talk about it, you're gonna be pretty pissed and pretty angry, and you want everyone who's on your side to be as angry and as pissed as possible so that they can fight back everyone else for you. There you go. Steve asks, how do I stop being racist? Well, Steve, you have to realize that there's a lot of people out there that think you are wrong. So what does that mean? You think your skin color is better than every other skin color. Well, breaking news, there's a lot of other skin colors that think you're the worst skin color. And not everybody can be right, but I think everyone can be wrong in that situation. So just realize the odds of you being right are pretty much 0%. Sorry, it is what it is. Oh dear, what a dumb question. J-Man asks, want to know, is it normal to be absolutely nervous when proposing? And also, how do you go about it? I've been thinking about it a lot, but I have no clue how to even go about it or what to do before. And I literally had this problem. I don't even want to say how I proposed to Aaliyah. It was... I had this exact same problem and I panicked and I could have done so much better. Oh, I'm getting PTSD right now. But thankfully, Aaliyah loves me and she said yes, so I was so relieved. The main goal is you gotta say yes, man. All right, if you know she's going to say yes, that makes it way easier. And I used to think, gosh, exactly like you, keep it something that can be lovely and wholesome and simple, you know. It doesn't need to be a big giant parade. Just the location is very important. Make sure the day is super lovely, super nice. Do everything possible that you can to make sure this day is all about her. Maybe she'll know she's getting proposed. I will say, as a girl, it is nice to get photos. Maybe take her out to a restaurant and have like a surprise photographer and make sure it's a fancy restaurant so she's forced to dress nice. And you could bring out, you know, the cake, and they could have the ring in the top, and there's like a candle, and she could be like, oh, it's not my birthday. I'm like, oh my mistake. I don't know. And it's like, oh, but she's, I don't know, dude. I suck at this. Good luck. Dorado, how do I properly delegate time between my hobbies, work, relationship, and at-home responsibilities? I appreciate your videos covering topics such as these. God bless. I am so bad at this, but I think mixing them could help. You know, you could mix your hobby with your relationship. You could mix home responsibilities with your relationship. Yeah, that would be the two connecting lines I could see there. And try not to do too much of one, because then it will neglect the other. So having a fair and balanced amount each day to each one will help a lot. So yeah, good luck. God bless. Kyle asks, how to become friends with Brian? Now, lots of Brians are very, very different. But I think you're talking about my particular Brian. If you want to be friends with Brian Michael Hanby, you have to like soccer. You have to like something he likes, because you have to be able to talk about what he wants to talk about and listen to what he wants to say, okay? And then if you do that long enough, he'll trust you. That'll take about 6 months. For me, it took 6 years, because I didn't really care about talking about the stuff he cared about. But if you're looking for the fast lane, get into golf, get into soccer, talk about the importance of family, because that's really important to him, and be loyal and consistent, of good character. Otherwise, he'll sniff the bullshit out. He's decent at that. Yeah, and be able to take a joke, because he's going to try and hurt you as much as possible, and anything you share will be used against you. So honestly, who wouldn't want to be friends with a guy like that? That's about it. Honestly, it's not that complicated. And be helpful. That's good too, and appreciative. I think he appreciates those. He's grateful of those two traits. Camille asks, how can I become a successful Pokemon card collector like you? I always get terrible pulls when I open packs. I'm gonna give you a bit of a secret, but not really a secret. It's kind of obvious. Pokemon packs are designed for you to lose, okay? The struggle right now to get Pokemon packs sold and produced is a very dark time for the Pokemon pack industry for sure. However, if you do want some Pokemon packs, please check out my friend PSAPikachu.com. He's a very good friend. If you buy anything from him, it actually helps and goes a long way. okay? It's just him doing his own thing. Yeah, please do buy from him. I do generally get more lucky with him than I do with regular stuff that I buy, so I like him. But however, Pokemon packs are generally set up for you to lose money as you open them, so only really open them for fun. Don't open them for the gamba. And realize that as cards get older, they get more valuable. So whatever you do get, take very good care of, especially the reverse hollows and the arts and stuff like that. Take care of everything, because it might be worth a lot in a long time. Carly asks, hi Nogla, been a fan of yours for a long time and I really need advice on this. How do I cope with the loss of a loved one? This is the first time in my life, believe it or not, that I've ever lost a loved one. I would really like your advice. Please and thank you. God bless. This is so tricky because it's painful, it hurts, and it feels like it's not going to go away, and it gets bad, and then it gets even worse, and it's tough. It's tough to grieve someone you really, really cared about and overcome that grief. But just know that the person that you're grieving doesn't want you to grieve forever. They want you to be happy, because if you really loved them and cared about them, I'm sure they really loved and cared about you too. From that, I like to believe people that I care about go to heaven and they're seeing what I'm doing. Maybe, hopefully not too much, but I would like to think that they're with God and they're aware, okay, you can stop feeling bad now. Yeah, it's very, very hard to get to that point. Because in my opinion, not you, but maybe someone, if they stop feeling bad, maybe you didn't care about them that much. Maybe you didn't love them that much. If you stop feeling bad too soon, and then you just learn to continue to feel bad. And even though a lot of time has passed and the feelings will come back, they will come back. They're gonna come and go, and it's gonna, and that's just life. That's just human nature, especially when you connected so deeply with someone and they're no longer physically present. It's really, really important that you find comforting things when these feelings of sadness return, and the only way you can counteract it is by gratitude and appreciation, and just be thankful for the life they had and the impact that they had on your life, and carry that forward, knowing that that's what they would most likely want for you. That to carry all the good things that they gave you haven't gone to waste, and you are continuing those good things on in you for them. And so I believe that is the way forward, and that is the way past grief. And I don't know what else to say beyond that. If you believe in God, look forward to meeting them in heaven and being reunited with them in heaven. That's a very comforting and very solemn thought to treasure, that the best is yet to come. Even though you lost the best is still yet to come. Justin asks, how do I have fun with something that I did so many times that it's now boring? You have to find something new. It just depends. It really, really depends. Is this something, a hobby? Is it like really, really important? If it's just a hobby and a little thing you enjoy here and there, and in your spare time, move on, man. Do something completely different. That's it. And do something completely different for a good while. And then you might come back to it and have fun with it again. But it sounds like you need a bit of breathing room from whatever it is. It might be doing more damage than just boring you. Arsenal Game asks, how do I forgive myself for something that I simply can't let go? How do I stop feeling guilty for something I always have running around my head? If you have genuinely done something bad, you should try and find the person that you did it to and apologize. That will help. Apologizing and being open and honest about your mistakes to the person that you hurt. And if they forgive you, they forgive you. If they don't, they don't. Well, you tried. And the fact that you tried means that you can continue on and say, look, I did my best. I think I can forgive myself because I really put myself out there, and I can move on, because you can't hold on to it forever. This is actually very closely tied to the previous question I answered about forgiveness, except it's the flip side of the coin, But remember, especially, that if you don't forgive yourself, the issue is that you don't allow yourself to improve. You don't, because you're set of yourself. You can't let it go, and you'll always be stuck there. You'll progress, sure. You'll progress here and there, a little bit there and a little bit, but it's like a rubber band. If you don't forgive yourself for something, you can run away from it. You can try your best to escape, but that rubber band is stuck to you like glue. And the longer you go without forgiving yourself, the stronger you make that band, and eventually it's going to whip you back and pow! All the progress you made in 5, 10, 15, 20 years is going to crumble to zero, and you'll be back at the exact same point where you needed to forgive yourself, but you didn't. So think about the consequences of not forgiving yourself and realizing that they are far greater than holding on to the guilt. That's it. You have to realize that you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not being humble by not forgiving yourself. There's nothing righteous about not forgiving yourself. All it is pride, because you think what you've done is way worse than what everyone else has done. You think it's kind of pride in the opposite way. It's like prideful of how bad you are. You shouldn't be prideful of the good things you've done, and you shouldn't be proud about the bad things you've done. Do not make the things you've done bad bigger than they actually are. And if you did something bad, go say sorry. And hey, it could be the best decision you ever made, but either way, it's a step forward. That's what matters. The reason why you can't let go is because you're looking back and you're not looking forward. So you gotta cut that cord before it snaps you hard, man. Good luck and God bless. Duncan asks, how does one go on in life if you've given your all and are ready to give up? Whew, man, this is a doozy. Might be one of the hardest questions, I think, actually. The very important aspect of human life is having several elements and pillars that help you continue going. And one of the most important pillars in life to something that always brings prosperous life is hope. Having a strong attachment to hope is crucial. Crucial. If you feel like you've given your all and you're at the bottom still, the facts remain that is actually good news. Why? Silver lining, folks. If you feel like you met your end and you want to maybe end, don't. Because that is the exact moment and time in your life when things will pivot and get better. It doesn't get worse than getting to that edge of the cliff. It doesn't get worse. So just know that if you've reached that point, it can only get better, but it can only get better if you have hope. So do not let go of hope. Find the silver lining in everything, and eventually, as you practice this positive attitude towards terrible situations, you will find that those terrible situations will transform, and more importantly, you will transform beyond them. So the things that bring you down, drag you down, tell you, this and that, and life isn't worth it, it is all worth it. And if you're a person who, I haven't been to this point personally, I don't believe I have. I might have, but I could have forgot. You might even forget too, like me. You ever thought you maybe today's the day. You might forget you ever thought that, like me, but you won't know unless you try. And so every day is an opportunity, as you have to take it as a gift that this life, you are very unique and you are very blessed to simply be able to breathe. And counting your blessings, not counting the losses, is imperative. And last but not least, realizing the struggles you go through, if you persevere and get through them, they build character. They build deep, sincere, important character that you might not have else otherwise built if you didn't go through the struggle. Once you pass this part and phase of your life, you can then use what you've learned through overcoming it to help assist other people in a true and good and right way, and reach people that you are in the position you are in now. So if you give up now, that might cause someone else to give up in the future because you weren't there to help them. And the way I view life personally is, if you can get through life as a good person and just help one other person, then that is a net positive and you've made a good impact on the world. You don't have to help everybody. You don't have to do everything. If you can just have a net positive, you're actually doing pretty good. So that's it. Last but not least, Big Mike asks, I'll ask the same question. I'm a severe hypochondriac and I need genuine advice on how not to think I'm dying or have some underlying disease with every nuisance or ache to my body. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to give it blunt to you. A lot of diseases can and will be caused by stress. We live in a stressful society. And if you allow stress to be the compass of your life, where's it going to lead you? It's going to lead you towards more stress. So you need to find out when it started, man. You need to find out when did this start? Is it going to be a few years? Is it going to be, it could be 10 years, 15 years. We could be going back to childhood here. Find out when and where and how this started and nip it in the bud, in the root. That's what you need to do. Where is this feeling of being unsafe in your own body coming from? When did you feel the most unsafe in your life? And that could have been the pinpoint where things went forward. And so I would highly suggest a very good psychotherapist that will help you navigate thoughts and feelings and memories in a safe place, in an educated place, and try to avoid medication. Try to deal with it through the human grit and determination and willpower. Obviously, you have a lot of negative thoughts swirling around in your mind. You need to interrupt them when they start spiraling out of control. You do this, again, like an answer I get before, with positive talking to counteract that negative thinking. Phone someone that will talk great about you. Why not? I'm worried about this and this is going on. Can you just give me some positive words? Can you just tell me my body's going to be fine? If you need to record yourself saying, my body's going to be fine, my body is healthy, there's nothing wrong, and just record that and play it on repeat. Maybe extreme situations require extreme measures. And you might have few, I don't want to feed into this paranoia, you might have a few underlying health issues that you do need to deal with, but generally speaking, they're probably not as bad as you're thinking they are. So you need to put aside fear and worry. There's an anxiety. Stop controlling things you can't control. You can't control 99% of things. Control the 1% you can. You do not know the future. You're not God. You do not have a superpower where you can predict the future of everything that's going to happen. So stop trying to do that because of habitual worry or chronic fear or paranoia. You've kind of created a cage in your own mind, and that has made you a cage in your own body, and that's not the way humans are supposed to be. So seek professional help. I highly suggest you seek God and ask God to take care of your body, and thank God for your body every single day. Thank God that you're living and you're breathing, and that's it, man. You have to fight against it. If you do not fight against it, it's not going to go well, and I'm sure it's not your friend. It's not protecting you. And all the times you thought you had something, but you didn't, there's probably a lot more than the times you thought you had something and you actually did. And avoid Googling every single symptom. I know you do that, but I don't know. And I'm going to Google the symptom, and then I'm going to get the worst result and read all of it, and I'm going to project everything onto it, and then, oh shit, I have cancer. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. I think what you should do, you should get one time a year, get a medical examination, see if you're all good and healthy and whatever. And if everything is good, it means you're good. And you should not worry until you have to do it next year at the same day, same month, same time. That's it, man. You gotta kill it before it kills you. It's do or die, dude. You gotta kill the paranoia before it kills you. Do whatever you need, by any means necessary, because that shit is a slippery slope. It will lead to some serious problems. So God bless you. That's it today, folks. Damn, I went kind of heavy on the last one. I hope not too heavy. I wish I was a little more gentle, but with all that being said, thank you very much for listening. If this gets a lot of views, I'll do it again. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Here's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and all the good stuff.